Here's a special event making news around the parish. Destrehan Plantation is now exhibiting its year-long tribute to the largest slave revolt in American history that ended here on the grounds of the plantation 200 years ago. Local artist Lorraine Gendron follows the tracks of the hundreds of enslaved men who started their revolt on the banks of the river in LaPlace and charged forward in hopes of conquering the city of New Orleans. Her paintings and sculptures depict the fortitude and determination of these men to fight for their rightful freedom.
It's great to be recognized as the artist that did this, and it was a pleasure to do it. I just love history. And I found out that I can read something and it can come out the end of my fingers into a paintbrush.
The grand opening of the exhibit was marked with a special ceremony on the 200th anniversary of that tragic winter in 1811.
I want to begin my remarks by offering my gratitude to the Destrehan Plantation staff and the Revolt Historical Society for bringing St. Charles Parish rich history to life. Thanks also to Tulane University and the New Orleans African American Museum. It is so important today to understand the events that shaped this area and made it what it is today. A clear knowledge of history is a key ingredient to continued positive progress. I keep that in mind daily as I carry out my duties as parish president. Today we acknowledge the 200th anniversary of the largest slave revolt on American soil. It is an event that has largely been forgotten, but I'm happy to say that today we also mark the resurgence of remembrance. We remember the turbulent times leading up to the American Civil War, kind to some, but downright cruel to others. We remember the suffering of the enslaved and the social rules that allowed such a practice of slavery to even exist. And most of all, remember the group of over 200 of those enslaved who took up their cause and changed the course of history, whether history remembered them or not. We stand at this very site where the disembodied heads of those sentenced to death for the revolt were displayed and made examples of. It's hard for me to believe that 200 years, a mere bleak in the entity of history, separates us from those barbaric acts. I pray that we have learned and continue to learn from the 1811 slave revolt. St. Charles Parish government is so very proud to sponsor the many events this year that would help us do just that. Please enjoy the evening's exhibit. Thank you for attending. And I encourage you to attend as many of the upcoming events in 2011 related to this worthy cause of remembrance.
According to all contemporary accounts, the slaves moved downriver with calculation and organization. DeLon and his lieutenants acquired horses from the Andre Plantation and rode at the head of the column, encouraging their followers onward. Gaining strength at every plantation it passed, the army continued to move, pleading with and forcing slaves to join their ranks. Reaching the Jean Trepanier plantation, they solicited the aid of Big Baptist, a slave leader on the plantation, to garner additional support for the rebellion army. Hippolyte, another slave, grabbed his master's horse and fell in alongside DeLon at the head of the column marching against New Orleans. Arriving at the plantation owned by Francois Trepanier, whereby they captured and executed Francois. An old Creole folktale details the death of Trepanier, whereby his loyal slave, Gustave, rushed into his master's personal chamber and, quote, threw himself upon the man he hated, and others poured in after him. Reportedly, support for the uprising strengthened at each plantation along the German coast. Additional participants joined the ranks at other plantations before marching on to the Destrehan Plantation, where the slaves willingly joined the rebellion. During their march, the rebel army raised a select number of plantation homes. Numbering as many as 500, the rebels arrived on the Jacques Fourchet Plantation, 25 miles from their starting point. Here, they planned to rest and fortify their spirits after the long and arduous trek downriver, waiting until the next day to march on to New Orleans.
The Hahnville High School Choir raised their voices in honor of the hundreds of men who fought for their freedom.
My triumph is begun. Oh, come.
exhibit is open to the public and will be featured in monthly events throughout the year. All residents of the parish are invited to experience this important event that forever changed our parish, Louisiana, and America.
Bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home.
I know I'm near the holy ranks of friends and kindred dear. I brush the dew on Jordan's banks, the crossing must be near. Oh, come, angel band, come and around me stand. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home.
I've almost gained my heavenly home. My spirit loudly sings. The holy ones, behold, they come. I hear the noise of wings. Oh, come, angel band, come and around me stand. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home. Oh, come, angel band, come and around me stand. Oh, bear me away on your snowy wings to my immortal home.
For more information about all the events making news around the parish, log on to stcharlesparish-la.gov.
To my